Okay, write a question. Find the total resistance of the following circuit. Find the total resistance of the following circuit between the points between the points between the points A and F, capital A and F, both capital A and F. And here is the circuit diagram given. Forty ohm, 80 ohm, 30 ohm, 60 ohm, 50 ohm, A, B, C, D, E, F. Here is the question given. This question is 1 year ISC question. Huh? From there only I am giving you this one. Okay, question is asking you find the total resistance of this circuit between the point A and F. So how to do this? This is a question of year 2016 or 17. It was the multiple choice question, one of the multiple choice question. Most of the students, they made a mistake that particular year. They thought this is a Wheatstone bridge. They check the ratio this way: P by Q, R by S, 40 by 80, 1 by 2, 30 by 60, also 1 by 2. So they took these two of them in series, these two of them in series, and they neglected it 50, and then they did in parallel, like normal method. But this question is not a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, the idea is between A and F, so you can just see how the current from A starting and will be reaching the point A, or it will reach, it will follow this path, I'm sure. It will follow the path like this. It will go this way and reach the point A. No other way it can reach the point A. If it goes like this, there is a gap. It cannot reach the point A. It cannot reach the point F by any other methods, by any other means. So these are the resistors through which current is passing. So just simply add this one, this one, this one. They all are in series. Therefore, total resistance value will come 40 plus 50 plus 60. Add, this is the answer, 150 ohm. Finished. This is the answer. So you need to be careful about the Wheatstone situation. So sometimes the questions may be slightly tricky. So this time we have to see through one end. This point is starting between the point A and F, you have to find, and it's reaching the point F directly by these three resistances in series. So direct addition. Finished. Okay, now next topic we are starting meter bridge. Meter bridge. Meter bridge. Wheatstone bridge, then we have meter bridge. Okay. What is a meter bridge? Meter bridge is actually a modified form of Wheatstone bridge, modified form. In meter bridge, what happens? We will have a wire. We'll have a wire AB 1 meter long, that is 100 centimeters long. We'll have a wire, meter is the word coming from 1 meter long wire we have of a particular resistance. Okay, but the wire is made up of same material throughout, and the wire thickness is same everywhere, uniform thickness, uniform area of cross section everywhere. So we are having a wire 1 meter long. 1 meter long is 100 centimeter long, and then we will have two resistances out here, one over here in the arms, the left gap and the right gap. They are called left arm and the right arm, or left gap and the right gap, we say. This will be P, this may be Q resistance, and there will be a galvanometer between this point name you can give M, like this. There is a galvanometer with a jockey, like this, jockey, and then we have to supply current through it. This J is jockey. Jockey is a sliding sliding conductor, which we slide it over the wire like this. This end will be sliding it over the wire. We'll be moving it over this wire, moving it over the wire. And at a particular point, the galvanometer gives null deflection. Then we say the bridge is balanced, but this is called meter bridge. When galvanometer gives null deflection by sliding the wire at a particular point, we get null deflection in the galvanometer. Then this bridge is said to be balanced. Suppose the length at which null deflection takes place, this side is L. This length is L. This is called balancing length. Then from the other side, the length will be, from this side, the length will be 100 minus L in centimeters. Total length is 1 meter, that is 100 centimeter long. This will be L and then this will be 100 minus L, balancing length. What kind of length is this balancing length? The length at which length of the jockey from the point A at which the galvanometer gives null deflection, that means zero deflection. So we know right here when galvanometer, you have to mention this, when galvanometer gives null deflection, then what happens then, you know the Wheatstone bridge, the actual form, the ratio must be equal. Ratio of the arms must be equal. That is, this by this will be equal to this by this. I'll be writing like this. P upon Q is equal to, actually the condition is R divided by S. But R is proportional to the length when area of cross section and material is same and the temperature is same. So instead of writing the ratio of the resistances, I'll write on the ratio of length. Directly proportional ratio I'll write. I'll write here L divided by 100 minus L. So this is the working formula of a meter bridge. This is the working formula of a meter bridge. One simple example, suppose I say this is 2 ohm, this is 6 ohm. Let us find the value of balancing length. At what length the galvanometer will give null deflection here in this case. So we will do directly 2 upon 6. We can write that we can work this out. 2 upon 6 is equal to this upon this. I'll write here L divided by 100 minus L. And now we'll be doing the calculation. 2 1 2 3 and find the value of balancing length. This will become 3L. This will be 100 minus L. 3L plus L become 4L is equal to 100. So therefore, L value is coming 25 centimeters. You can say the balancing length from the point A, this length must be 25 centimeters. Which at 25 centimeter mark, the galvanometer should give null deflection, zero deflection. That means from the other side, it will be at a distance of 75 centimeters. So this is quite simple. It's easy. So we do 1 or 2 problems on this and then we start new topic, potentiometer. Will be the last topic of electrical circuit. Okay, write a question. In the circuit shown below, in the circuit shown below, the length of the wire AB equal to the length of the wire AB, the length of the wire AB, the length of the wire AB, capital AB equal to 100 centimeters. To stop. Where should the jockey be placed? Where should the jockey be placed? Where should the jockey be placed so that the galvanometer shows no deflection? So that the galvanometer shows no deflection. And here is the circuit given. This is A, this is B, and out here it is given like this. This is given 8 ohm. This is given 12 ohm. Okay. That is the question. This is a galvanometer which is giving null deflection. That's the question. So I think this is quite simple. You can do it. Let us suppose the balancing length from the point A be L. I'll assume myself. Total length is 100. So this length, remaining length will be 100 minus L. If they say total length is 4 meter, 4 meter means 400 centimeters, then this is L. So here I'll write 400 minus L. Now you can do it very simple. Galvanometer gives null deflection, and what will happen? Ratios are equal. This by this is equal to this by this. I'll write like this: 8 by 12 is equal to L divided by 100 minus L. And now we get answer. 4 2s are 4 3s are. Now it's do cross multiply and all, and then find answer. What is answer? Okay. 3L is equal to 200 minus 2L. So 5L is equal to 200, and L is coming 40 centimeters. So finished. This answer. This is the value of balancing length. Therefore, the balancing length is 40 centimeters from the point A. That is it. Okay. Now next question. This question is multiple choice question. Okay. This is IIT 1 year IIT question. IIT 2007. Okay. Write a question. A resistance of 2 ohm is connected. A resistance of 2 ohm. A resistance of 2 ohm. 2 ohm is connected across one gap of a meter bridge. Across one gap of a meter bridge and an unknown resistance greater than 2 ohm, comma, is connected across the other gap. Is connected across the another gap. We stop. When these resistances are interchanged, comma, the balance point shifts by 20 centimeters. Full stop. The unknown resistance is 4 options given. Option A 2 ohm, option B 3 ohm, option C 5 ohm, and option D 6 ohm. So we have to check which one of the answer is correct. Okay. I think you written the questions and try to understand what the question says. Question says there is a meter bridge. There are 2 gaps. I can draw a diagram also for this. Meter bridge, that means one left gap and the right gap, or left arm or the right arm. Left arm resistance, any one resistance, I assume 2 ohm. So this is given 2 ohm. Another one is unknown. So I take this to be X ohm. First case, the balancing length suppose obtained is L. This is the balancing length obtained is L. First case. So what I am supposed to write, I can show a battery alone not needed. So I can directly write 2 by X is equal to L divided by 100 minus L. This length will be 100 minus L, no? Surely, 100 minus L. Remaining length will be 100 because it is a meter bridge. Meter bridge means 1 meter long or 100 centimeter long, 100 minus L. So I'll mark this as equation number 1 because here X is and L, two of them are unknown. So I'll keep it as equation number 1. Now, second part of question says these gaps are interchanged, resistances are interchanged. Now, this you have taken this as X ohm and this is in the second case. So when we do so, new ratio will come what? They're saying new length shift by 20 centimeters. That means new length will either increase or will decrease by 20. So a new ratio alert here, X by 2 alert here, X by 2 equal to. Definitely this X is bigger than 2, no? The question says that this resistance X value is anything but bigger than 2, greater than 2. Definitely when this resistance is more, that side length will be more. So that is length must increase now, balancing length. Because X is more than this one, this is more than this value, so this side value will be more than that side value. So right, L plus 20 divided by, other side the length will be 100 minus L plus 20. Other side length will be like this. Let us simplify it. You get X by 2 is equal to L plus 20. Now here I'll simplify. 100 minus 20 will become 80 minus L. This is equation number 2. Now I have to solve the two equations simultaneously to find the value of X. First I'll find the value of L and then we'll put the value of L back and we'll get the value of X. We can do reciprocal of this. Let us do the reciprocal. That is, we can write here 2 by X is equal to 80 minus L by L plus 20. Mark this as equation number 3 after reciprocating. Then equation 1 and equation 3 are left hand side is equal. You can write here from equation 1 and equation 3. If you look at the equation 1 and equation 3, left hand sides are equal, so right hand side will be equal. Let us equate that L upon 100 minus L is equal to 80 minus L by L plus 20. Now we'll do cross multiply and find answer. Let us do cross multiplication. L into L is becoming L square plus 20L. 100 into 80 is becoming 8000 minus 100L minus 80L plus L square. L square and L square cancel. We have 20L is equal to 8000. These two I'm adding, it's becoming 180L. It will come this side. The 20L plus 180L is equal to 8000. Added this to 200L is equal to 8000. So L value is coming 40 centimeters. That means in the first case the balancing length was 40, but we have to find the value of unknown resistance X. The value of L will put back in any of the equations, either in equation 1 or in equation 2 or in equation 3. We'll put back. Therefore, from equation 1, we can put the value 2 by X is equal to L value is 40 by 100 minus L. I'll do here 100 minus L value is 40. Now I'll calculate the answer. You get 2 by X is equal to 40 by 60 here. You can cancel. 21 are 23 are. So X value is coming 3 ohm. So this option number 2 is correct. The value of X is 3 ohm. So okay. So this was meter bridge. Meter bridge is nothing new. It is a kind of Wheatstone bridge only. But only we have PQ and instead of writing R by H, we take because the resistance is proportional to the length, when area of cross section and the nature and the temperature are constant, are same. That's why we, instead of writing the ratio R by S, I write the ratio of length. Proportional ratio we write, a directly proportional ratio. L divided by this, and then that's the answer. So hope this topic is covered now. Meter bridge is done. Now the last topic of electrical circuit is potentiometer. Please give the heading potentiometer. 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 Potentiometer is the word from meter means measurement of potential. Potential is voltage. Okay. Write down. It is not an instrument. It is an electric circuit. It is an electric circuit. Electric circuit which is generally used. To determine the EMF of a cell. Determine the EMF of a cell. EMF means electromotive force, or the total voltage that is the cell voltage, the total voltage of a cell. EMF of a cell. We'll stop. One question, see, terminal voltage. What is the instrument do we use to find the terminal voltage? The answer is voltmeter. If you could remember previously, in the previous chapter round, we had done voltmeter measuring the terminal voltage. That is, we are drawing current from the cell, and that voltmeter is having high resistance. It's not, we are assuming that the voltmeter is not taking up any current from the circuit because of very high resistance. Though it draws little bit of current, but potentiometer is the circuit, or it's an arrangement. You can say potentiometer is an arrangement which is used to determine the EMF of a cell. Potentiometer is a circuit which is used to determine the EMF of a cell. Okay, now next paragraph you write, a potentiometer works. A potentiometer works on the following two principles. A potentiometer works on the following two principles. Right, number one. Okay, right. Principle of, first one, right, principle of two PDs in opposition. Principle of two PDs means two potential differences. Principle of two PDs in opposition, which states that the current in a circuit is zero. Which states that the current in a circuit is zero when two equal PDs are in opposition. So for this we draw this diagram. This is one cell, this is another cell, like this, with a galvanometer. There is a galvanometer, yes, there is a galvanometer. One cell, another cell. We are giving current in the opposite direction. That's why it's called two potential differences are in opposition. The current value, suppose this is also EMF value is same, that is the voltages are same, EMFs are same. When they give current in opposite direction, what is the net current? Current of this one is I, current of this one also will be I, because same EMF. The two currents are in opposite direction. So what is the value of net current in the circuit? The net current in the circuit will be zero. And with the galvanometer will give null deflection, zero deflection. This is the principle number one, or the first principle of the potentiometer. Principle of two PDs in opposition. Two potential differences in opposition. ना हाँ चला गया। ओके 1 मिनट 1 मिनट प्लीज, जस्ट कमिंग।
गाइडलाइन के हिसाब से अपना काम कीजिए।
कौन सा क्या है जी?
वही उसी के लिए कि वो हटाने के लिए हो रहा तो आप साइन कीजिए। आप इसमें दोनों पक्ष मिल के बात कर, हटाने का क्या जरूरत है?
क्या मतलब ये समझे नहीं क्या?
ऐसा हुआ ना आपका, ये लोग जो है ना अपने आप में, आप गवर्नमेंट कुछ नोटिस नहीं आया कि इसका नमाज नहीं होगा, जुमा का नमाज नहीं होगा, लेकिन ये लोग अपने आप में मीटिंग करते हैं, बोल दिया कि नहीं जुमा का नमाज नहीं होगा, इसका नमाज नहीं होगा। तो मुफ्ती साहब को तो ये गलत लगा, क्योंकि अल्लाह के बंदे को अल्लाह के घर आने से रोकने के लिए तो गलत है ना। तो मुफ्ती साहब ये गलत समझ के उनको बोले कि नहीं इसका नमाज नहीं होगा।
जुमा की नमाज वहाँ पर नहीं पढ़े थे ना,
जुमा का नमाज आप 12:30 बजे जाता है।
नहीं जुमा का घर ही में था, स्टार्ट करना
तो वो
12:30 का नमाज मुफ्ती साहब पढ़ा है।
जी।
मुझे भी अच्छा करके क्या मिला लेता हूँ। मैं पता है आज 5 बजे से, मतलब मैं 3 बजे तो 3 बजे खा के सो रही हूँ। नींद नहीं आ रही, नींद नहीं आ रही, ऐसे देखते रहते हम बात करते करते यार तो उस वक्त मैं आगे विचार में डूब देता हूँ। ही नहीं बेड पे वो बर्तन धोया लोगों को आज बड़ी जरूरी आप इसे पढ़ दिया तो हमें गुड़िया बेटा जैसे क्या होता है बस क्या है दाशु है क्यों तुम्हारा बात किधर है दाशु का ये तो कौन है बना
वो तो एक क्वालिटी लाने को बता दो
हेलो 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 रिकॉर्डिंग चालू है बंद नहीं किया है सॉरी हाँ सॉरी there was some guests who had come out there, okay, visitors. I went to meet them. So sorry for the delay. You didn't go away, no? That's nice of you. You remain connected, huh? Okay. Ready, yeah? क्या रिकॉर्डिंग बंद नहीं किया था पूरा चलिए रहा ओके वन ओके द potentiometer first principle we discussed. This is the principle of two PDs in opposition. When two PDs are in opposition, they will give equal current in opposite direction, then the total current becomes zero. This is the principle number one. Okay, now write principle number two. Principle number two, right? Principle of potential gradient. Principle of potential gradient. Principle of potential gradient. Which states that the potential gradient of the wire the potential gradient of the wire, right under bracket, potential gradient is voltage upon the length of the wire, V upon L ratio. V by L ratio is called potential gradient. Under bracket, you write V by L. Potential gradient of the wire, V by L, remains constant when a steady current flows through it. When a steady current flows through the wire, giving null deflection in the galvanometer, giving null deflection in the galvanometer, Okay. Now, I'll explain to you what is the second principle, okay? Okay, the second principle only, please write one more line, right? This principle is the consequence of, Ohm's law. This principle is the consequence of Ohm's law. Okay. Therefore, write down below this. Therefore, write V by L equal to constant. V by L is equal to constant. Okay. Now, put an asterisk below and write down. Put one asterisk point. This is an important point. Please write. A potentiometer is preferred. A potentiometer is preferred to a voltmeter. In measuring the EMF of a cell. In measuring the EMF of a cell. Because it works on null deflection method. Because it works on null deflection method. Which means it measures the potential difference. Without drawing any current from the cell. Without drawing any current from the cell. Okay. Now, first try to understand the principle number 1. Circuit diagram is clear. Now, I will tell you where do we make use of this first principle. The first principle is made use to check the EMF of a cell with the help of a standard cell. Okay, giving example. Suppose we are buying a dry cell, maybe a Nippo cell, pencil battery. When you buy a pencil battery, suppose this is our pencil battery. The company, here is a positive side, this is positive side, this side is negative. This may be a Nippo company, Nippo. I just give the example, Nippo cell, or maybe Eveready cell. So the company is manufacturing it. When they manufacture it, they write down the value of voltage here without any current drawn from the cell. They will write down the value of EMF of the cell, and they write 1.5 EMF, 1.5 volt. They write exactly 1.5 volt. So So when the company makes it, they need to check whether the voltage, what they have developed between these two terminals, is exactly 1.5 volt or not. They need to check. If instead of 1.5 it becomes 1.4, 1.3, that means this cell is faulty. Or if it becomes more than 1.5, then also it is faulty. It has to be exactly 1.5. So for making the EMF exactly equal to the designated value, then they will be using this circuit. The company will have a standard cell of 1.5 volts like this. This is a standard, this one is fixed, is standard. And this is a cell which they are manufactured, and they want to check whether the EMF of this cell has become exactly 1.5 or not. They want to check. So they will be using this circuit with a galvanometer. There is a meter over there. And in that meter, they will check if the galvanometer gives zero deflection. If the galvanometer shows zero, that means the EMF of this cell is equal to this value. That is exactly 1.5 volt. But if the galvanometer gives some deflection, that means they are not of equal value. That is for sure. They are not of equal value. It may be less, it may be more. That means they need to correct this cell. If the galvanometer shows reading somewhat like this side, that means this current is bigger. That means the EMF of this one is smaller. That means the current is flowing in the bigger direction, in the direction of the bigger one. That means they need to increase the value of EMF. If the deflection goes to the other side, that means this cell's EMF is bigger. They need to reduce the EMF. And unless the deflection becomes zero, the EMF of this cell will not be equal to this one. So this is how when they manufacture a cell, they check whether the EMF of that cell has become really 1.5 volt or not. So normally there is a chamber over there. The number of cells, so many cells will be passing through the cell, and there will be a man who is monitoring the reading of the galvanometer. If the galvanometer stands 0, 0 all the time, it's like a train. All the batteries are passing through the chambers like this, and the galvanometer gives zero deflection all the time. It's fine, fine, fine. Particular time it shows deflection, and that cell is faulty. They will remove that cell, and they will allow the other cells to pass through, and they need to correct those cells. So that is the main idea behind it, this first principle. Okay, now the second one. Please try to understand the principle number 2. Okay. For principle number 2, that second principle is only the most important principle as per your syllabus. The first principle I told you already, but it is less important just to understand that is used by company and all. Okay, just to check whether the EMF of that cell has become exactly 1.5 volt or not. Now the second case, what happens? The diagram will there be wire here. We will be using a wire. Maybe AB is a wire of any length. The length can be 1 meter, can be 2 meter, can be 4 meter, can have any length. And now we will be having a battery here like this, with the key always on here like this way. We will have a battery here like this. And now we'll have another cell here, another cell out here this side, with a galvanometer here like this. There is a galvanometer here. This cell, this is positive, same, and this is also positive, this side is negative like this. Same terminal, positive will be connected to the positive side, negative will be connected to the negative side here. Okay, the principle number 2 says, suppose the voltage applied over here is V, or I write B, the battery, this is the battery, B, and this one is anything on there, this may be EMF E, like this. Then second principle is the principle of potential gradient. Potential gradient means the ratio of voltage per unit length of this wire, V by L ratio. So I just give one example. Suppose the value of this battery's voltage value is say 4 volts, and this is 100 centimeter long. This is 100 centimeter. The whole wire is 100 centimeter. 100 centimeter is same as 1 meter, is equal to 1 meter. What is the potential gradient of the wire? We say 4 by 1. 4 divided by 1. the potential gradient value will come 4 volt per meter. 4 volt per meter. 4 volt per meter. Unit is 4 volt per meter. Okay. Now that will remain constant throughout when galvanometer gives null deflection. What is the meaning of this? Just see. Or when the current flowing through this wire is steady, that will be same again. For this point, for all the points, it will be the same. Voltage for this part is 4 volts. Voltage, suppose if you take half of the wire, then half of the wire length will be 50, but the voltage also will be 2 volt long. Voltage also will change. The potential gradient value will come the same value only. 4 only will come, 4 volt per meter. That is your calculating the answer like this: 2 volt upon the length is suppose 50. When the length is half, voltage is also half. That means 0.5. The answer will come again 4. 4 volt per meter only will come throughout. This is only possible when current flowing is same everywhere or when the galvanometer gives null deflection. What I mean to say, suppose current out here is suppose I, and out here if current is coming off I1, but I1 current will flow this way and go back to the source. When this gives 0, that is I1 value is how much? 0. And then what I will flow through this part, the I value will be what? I plus I1, that is I plus 0 here, I plus 0, the answer will remain I. That will flow same throughout. And Ohm's law says, this is actually result of Ohm's law. Ohm's law tells us that V is equal to IR. We write V, I we are keeping same, and R value we write here, rho into L by A. That means V is proportional to L, V is proportional to length. When resistivity, that is nature and temperature, the area of cross section of the wire is same. That means V by L is constant. That is V by L should be constant only when the current flowing is same, and wire is already same, uniform thickness and the same temperature and same nature throughout. So V by L ratio must be same. When the galvanometer gives null deflection. So the second principle is the principle of potential gradient. Then potential gradient of the wire will be same throughout when current flowing is same throughout the wire or when the galvanometer gives null deflection. Practically no current is drawn from this cell and it's measuring the accurate value of EMF of the cell. That's why potentiometer is preferred to a voltmeter in measuring the EMF of cell. I just give one example. Suppose this is this length is 100 centimeters and this EMF we want to find. This is, and the balancing is like this. The galvanometer gives null deflection. This length, say for example 40 centimeters. At a length 40 centimeters, we are getting null deflection. What is the value of EMF? Can we find out? The answer is yes. Or we take the potential gradient of the wire, whole wire, that is 4 upon 100 centimeters. Centimeter wise, we write 4 upon 100. This side we write what is the voltage across this part? Voltage of this length. Voltage of this length is E. So I write E divided by the length, this length only. Voltage across this length of the wire. Across this length, what is the length of the wire? 40 centimeters. Right, centimeters. This is centimeter. This is centimeter. I am putting in the same unit. Let us cancel and get answer. For the 16 by 10, answer is coming 1.6 volt. Then you can say that the EMF of this cell is 1.6 volt. So this is a technique which is followed to determine the EMF of an unknown cell without drawing any current from the cell. Because the EMF definition only says that it is the terminal difference, it is a potential difference between the terminals of a cell when no current is drawn from it, when no current is taken out from the cell. We are not drawing any current because the galvanometer gives zero deflection or null deflection. So we are not drawing any current from it. Yet we are measuring the voltage of this one. That is EMF, we are finding the EMF. That's why it is preferred over a voltmeter. So understood? Yes? Okay. So today let us do this much. Otherwise it becomes too long for you to also to watch the video. Tomorrow we will be completing this electric circuit will be completed. Tomorrow I will be teaching you some application of potentiometer and some problems. So this chapter will be finished by tomorrow. Tomorrow we will get rid of the first part of the chapter till electric circuits will be finishing by tomorrow. Okay. Then thank you.